Hi, I'm Lisa Galicchio from the New Jersey Healthcare Networking Group, and I am so excited to be here today at the Rose Garden and Rehabilitation Center in Toms River. And today, our member spotlight is Mr. Andrew Shaw, CEO of the Rose Garden Rehabilitation Center. Welcome.
Lisa, it's really, shake my hand, even though we're so close. It's good to be the first, actually, on the New Jersey Health Network, and it's very exciting. And I have to put a good word in for Lisa, because she's done an extraordinary job with the New Jersey Health Network, and she literally has thousands of followers now. And she was good enough to approach me about the network, and it's a wonderful idea, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You know, this is really easy because the Rose Garden is just a beautiful place. The vibe is wonderful. The people are wonderful. It has it all going on, including a rose garden.
Yes. Many rose bushes, in fact, all over. On the front lawn, there was a rose bush that I saw one day up at President's Park in Long Branch, and I asked one of the Monmouth County Park individuals what it was, and they said it was called a beach rose, and it was very, very hardy, and it was surviving up through like October, and I said, I think I need that at Rose Garden. So we planted a beach rose out front, and then we have traditional roses in the courtyard. So the rose theme is prevalent here at Rose Garden.
Wow. So tell me a little of the history of Rose Garden and your philosophies here.
Well, thanks. I'd love to. So Rose Garden was born May 17th, 2005, and it was the culmination of a professional career of mine to create a long-term care rehabilitation center that was apart and different from what has, unfortunately for the industry, been, I would refer to in many cases as a black cloud for many years over the industry. Some of it is deserved, some of it is not deserved. But my goal was to pretty much blow up the image that nursing homes were the don't put me there industry. I resisted the idea that we should be a part of a healthcare industry where there's a piece of it where people actually sit at the Thanksgiving table and someone who you love looks at you and says, don't ever put me in a nursing home. So having experienced that as a professional in this industry, I grew very weary of that repetitive theme about what we do for a living. Right. And when the opportunity presented itself to create and build and give birth to Rose Garden in Toms River, my goal was to end that theme and become the long-term care facility, the nursing home, the subacute rehab, if you will, where people said, put me at Rose Garden. And my dream has come true. I've had multiple people over the 13 years that we've been here have actually said to their family member, I want to be at Rose Garden. Wow. So the first time I heard it, I actually heard that from a person on my birthday. And it was, my birthday is Valentine's Day, by the way. Nice. So it was probably one of the best birthday presents that I ever received. It was around 2006, a year or so after I got here. And when I had an older person who had been here for rehabilitation, and then the family made the decision that it was time for long-term care, she was the first to say, please put me at Rose Garden. Oh. And I told her that that I had finally lived, and that was what I had hoped for. So the history is based on the philosophy of ending what the stereotype of nursing homes is. I wanted to eradicate that image and create a beautiful surrounding, great food, friendly, warm, giving people who offer wonderful care to those who need either short-term stay, rehabilitation, where they get well and go home, thank God, or those that have reached a point where they just need more assistance. And that would be, of course, the traditional nursing home. And I think we have largely succeeded. You know, your work is never done, as you know. And we still have, you know, we have to stay on guard and be ever vigilant about what we do at all times. But I think the overriding point is that we are accessible. And that's probably the most important thing, that we are approachable, accessible, we are here, and we want to know what you're thinking. One of the more aggravating aspects of every person's business is when you're trying to serve a population and for one reason or another, and people have multiple reasons, which is why you have to work very hard on making people feel comfortable to come forward. So there are many reasons why people will decide not to say something. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say anything. I shouldn't say something. And I have consistently said, no, you should say something. It's very, very important that we know. And I would use that. I'm sure everyone who's watching today would feel the same way about their own business. That we, as business people, particularly people in the service business, we really want to know if there is something that we can do better, if there's something we haven't done, if there's something that you need, because sometimes we just don't know. It's not that we're inept, it's not that we don't care, it's that we may have missed it because it happens.
Absolutely.
So that's probably the full story about the philosophy and the history and why we got to where we are today.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Andy, tell us one more time how people can get to the Rose Garden. What's your phone number?
The phone number is 732-505-4477, 505-4477. And it's rosegardenNJ.com. And again, we will be building a new website, and it will be spectacular. Right now, it's good, but it will be better because that's what we're always doing here at Rose Garden. We're trying to make things better all the time in all ways.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
My pleasure.
All right.